as Caesar Zion. Live at Serena Hotel Kampala in Strings of Love concert. Saturday 4th November. Entrance is only 150k. Early birds are 100k and a table of 8 goes for 3 million Ugandan shillings. All tickets can be bought at www.quicket.co.ug. Strings of Love concert is powered by Arapex Style Adhesive, Stream Live Avenue, Capital Radio, Climax, Platinum Wellness Spa, Phenon, Galaxy FM and Maestro Studios. Come feel the real love with the king of guitar as Caesar Zion.
I know people who have been sleeping, then their spirit leaves the body and they go. So wherever they go, wherever God takes them, it's up to them. But those things happen. But they are obviously doing it for money. Katulina labe kisajja kiri awo kisirusiru kiri mukwata bakazi mabere cheita chitume nacho kugana ebintu abasikamu ebintu ebyekitumbavu ebyo those are the people we need to arrest.
A very small percentage of smart people can project what the future holds and then invest wisely. Trust us and let us give you a proper vision for your future. The Gold Fest at Chigo is one investment that can never go wrong. Welcome to the Gold Fest at Chigo, located in a serene environment a few meters away from Serena Hotel Chigo along Entebbe Express Highway. Be a smart investor and find the joy of living in a beautiful home with a magical view of Lake Victoria, affordable recreation centers, well-planned apartments. Enjoy our luxury space for your relaxation in our fully furnished state-of-the-art, well-planned apartments. Estates that are perfectly designed with you in mind to build your dream house with a modern hospital and an airstrip. Get true value for your money. Call us on +256 784 566 918 or visit our website www.thegolfestatchigo.com. The Gold Fest at Chigo. Discover a haven.
Welcome to Hoima Breeze Hotel, a place of comfort with accommodation, fully stocked bar and restaurant. At Hoima Breeze Hotel, we have the best accommodation and services. Do you want to watch football on large screens or enjoy music with comfort? We have all types of delicious meals here at Hoima Breeze Hotel, located in Habitant Kampala Road. Come over at Hoima Breeze Hotel for the best experience. Book with us on +256 200 909879. Breeze Hotel, the place with unsinkable hospitality in a lifetime.
Welcome to yet another edition of Kasuku Live. And Ben, tuyambe with that big head of yours. And idiot. When I saw a man,
you're so foolish.
I saw idiocy. So, I don't know if you're going to be serious. I don't know why the man is not being serious. So, welcome to yet another edition of Kasuku Live. I'm dressed like this. I'm not happy with you, by the way. I'm not happy. So, Brian, today I want to pick your mind. Okay, before I pick your mind, there is what they call prophecies. Yeah, prophecies are going all over. We've seen Prophet Elvis doing prophecies that have come true. Yeah, because Boba bakolaga yogera nekyabaawo. But of recent, Naraba, there is Prophet Sozi. I don't know if you've heard of him. Prophet Sozi last year yali ku NTVG special n'agamba nti yagenda mu gulu
yoli yali ku bypass
yoyo owa bypass
n'ava mu motoka
ng'ekyatambula n'agenda mu ggulu n'alaba Katonda
n'akomawo ng'emmotoka
ekyaliwo
fumita emboozi
oyo omu.
How did Prophet Sozi William become a prophet?
I began prophecy actually when I was young, in P6.
Wow.
Yeah, I began prophesying to the children at school. You know, I would see things and I would prophesy, you're going to get good marks, you're going to fail if we don't pray.
Really?
Yeah, then slowly by slowly, I received numerous visions and convictions until eventually one day it mounted up into a full revelation where I was driving here on the expressway in Kampala.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dream, it was real because I was going, and then the car got lifted up in mid-air. And yes, and then I found myself in a place full of light and abundance. And I was then told that this is heaven. So then when I reached there, I met Jesus for the first time, one-on-one. Then he took me to where I met also my father, because my father was a pastor. So I met him there in an angelic form, and he's the one who took me to Jesus. So when I reached Jesus, I was told to kneel down just before Christ, and my head was opened. And when he opened my head, he told me, I've given you the brain of a prophet. And then he sealed it back. And then within an instant, I was dropped back onto earth. So when I reached earth, then that's when I realized, wow, I've been away for, because I reached, it was around 3 afternoon. Then by the time I came back, it was like 7. So I'd gone away for almost 4 hours.
Whoa.
Yeah, around 3.5 hours. So eventually I came back, and then it wasn't an easy decision for me to take, but I had to begin ministry. When I was in my mother's womb, I got to actually get to know something. And there's a day they went to the beach when she was still pregnant with me. So they went to the beach with my father, and then they went to the supermarket on the way back, and then he went and bought soda, and then they went back home. So when I grew up, I told my mom this event. I told her, I remember when you were expecting me, you went to the beach with Dad, and then you went and said these words, and then you guys went to this beach, and then you came back, and then when you came back, you stopped by the supermarket on Entebbe Road, you branched, and you went and bought soda. And then when you bought soda, he received change of this much, and then you finally came back home.
How old were you?
I was about 3 months pregnant in the womb.
When this happened?
Yeah, in the womb. I wasn't yet born.
And then when you told her everything, how old were you?
I was about, I don't know, maybe around 15. A lot of times now, like with me, I see things in symbols. I'm not going to see a clear set sign that this is going to happen to Uganda. No. I may see maybe the map of Uganda and like 5 circles. And then I'll have to pray over that, and the Lord will show me each circle means the sun, represents the sun. So that means Uganda is going to face drought, you know, something like that. So you find that a lot of people receive these signs, but they're still nurturing and they're still junior to be able to understand what these things mean, because the Lord is not going to always, you're not always going to hear a voice that's straightforward. Sometimes you will see numbers. Now, like with me, I know when I see the number 3 a lot, not even just in some vision, but I may be driving and I see 3, then I see 3 again. If I see 3 more than 4 times, then I know that there is something good going to happen, because the Lord resurrected on the 3rd day.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 times.
3 means resurrection to me. So that means if I'm praying for you and I see number 3, I know that you're definitely going to get something that you lost. Now, it becomes interesting because it just doesn't stop there. There's what we call LASIK or forensic prophecy, whereby, yes, I'm going to get something I lost, but what is it exactly? Then I go deeper. Then from there, I can see that it's this one, maybe your husband who left you or something like that. whatever something that departed or died from you, on the third day it will definitely rise again. So that's how it is. And then you can go in depth and then see people's names, phone numbers, you know, all sorts of things to do with people's personal lives, home addresses, telephone numbers, passport numbers. I've prophesied, what do you call them, national ID numbers, you know, all those sorts of things like that. So actually, I began ministry in Southern Africa.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't start in Uganda. So the Lord first told me to go to Southern Africa, but I got the calling from here. So there was a great revival that happened in South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, that whole area. That's where I began. We began praying, and that's where I actually saw my first angel. The first time I saw an angel in physical form walking and greeting me wasn't in Uganda. But time reached and the Lord told me that I must go to Uganda, because you see, prophets are not stationed in one place. We move according to the will of God. If God wants you here, you'll go here. If God wants me to set up a church in this studio, I'll start it up. Yeah. So I just completely go by the will of God, and if He instructs me to do something, I have to follow it regardless of what it is, and regardless of whatever sort of physical, you know, impact it may do to me. I know that the spiritual reward is way bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now at a more senior level, I learned how to separate my body from my spirit.
Oh.
So when I'm prophesying now, I can separate my body and then just move in spirit. That's why I can go now to, you know, someone's ancestral home and see the names of the people around there, the family members and all that. I can move at that supersonic speed, which I can't in human form. So sometimes I see things in symbols. It's just a bit of a segment. Sometimes they come in words, and sometimes it's as straightforward. But sometimes, you know, Jesus just tickles you a bit and is like, let me just play with you a bit, just to raise your ranking. And instead of telling you that somebody is 50 years, you will see the number 25 and another 25 below, and then a cross of Jesus at Jerusalem.
Like, okay.
So you...
Then, waliwo Prophet Chiganda.
Bishop Chiganda.
Si Bishop Chiganda, Prophet Chiganda. Yabadde ku Galaxy ne Mr. Henry. Baba jita deep talk. Naye nga ayogera ng'agamba yagenda mu gulu. Kano namulaba ne mugeyenda yalaba n'agamba abayimbi baseremu ba Uganda bali mugeyenda. Takirabangako. Kiri ekiri wali takirabangako.
Yayogedde yani.
Tayina bwe yayogedde. N'agamba nti ye n'omupiira bwe guba guzannyibwa asobola okumanya nti Liverpool Man U eyo gujja kugwa 5-0 ate era asobola n'okutaaninga score.
I find myself in an accident. Kakati accident eno yali mbi. Accident eno yandeka mu coma for 3 months. Kakati in those 3 months, now spiritual realities became more real to me. Now, in that coma state, something now that shaped my life again happened. Now, mbeera ndi mu coma omwo, jukira Yesu mumanyiko kitundu badde nagendayo lwa bulwadde namponya nesiddayo. Kakati ngenzo gwa mu accident maze emyaka 7. So ntuuka mweyo state, because Henry, one other thing you need to understand, hell is real and so is heaven. Now ndi mweyo state, kakati emizimu gitandise okomerawo okulwanira spirit yange. This is what happens when people die. Hope I will not scare you off the set. Listen, first of all, there is a sure destiny, a clear path to anyone who dies, but they know Christ. They know where they go. teri Luganda luganga kumantala. You cannot slide into paradise and yet you are meant for hell. It cannot happen. The same is true to a person who did not know Christ. Now, at that moment, I didn't know Christ. Jukira nagenze namponya ekyamagero nenjiraba niyira nenvaayo. So at that moment I've denounced him. Kati emizimu ginkwatira mu eyo embeera nga Katonda namweganye. Kakati mbandi awo yagitandise okuddamu okulwanira spiriti yange to take me to hell.
Ng'oli mu koma.
Nga ndi mu koma.
Ng'ogiraba girwana.
Now what happens is your spirit doesn't die.
Yeah.
The body does. The spirit is what gives your body life. Now, if the spirit is separated from the body, then you're declared clinically dead. Now, mine left for that time. Kati nawe mizimu jiju grabbing to take me to hell. And I didn't like this place. I didn't like this place.
Kogamba walinga afudde.
Sikubanga.
Wali ofudde.
Oba ofudde. Enjawulo nti you are given a chance your spirit to come back to the body.
Okay.
Now, if it's not given, now this is what happened. Emizimu jirwana jagala kutwala spirit yange mu Geyena. In fact, I know I have a glimpse of how hell looks like. I saw some people there. Yes.
The ones that you can say Kalens Jukiro Namulaba. At least I know this face.
I saw some of your pop stars.
Abayimbi.
I saw some of these celebrities.
Abamba na Uganda.
Of course.
Ngabani. Prophet.
Of course, I can't say everything on camera.
It's okay,
because of the sensitivity of the matter.
Abamba.
But I can assure you, again, this hell thing has nothing to do with your popularity on earth.
Yeah, that's very true.
It has nothing to do with your big name. It has nothing to do with tata wange yali mulokole, mama wange mulokole.
It's a personal experience. You
don't even experience. You accept Christ as your personal. Now, I'm not at liberty to share that, but I saw some politicians, those who died even before I was born. Others were kings. Okay, the one person I clearly, and yet he lived even before I lived, the one person that the world knows is Hitler. I saw his face, and I was, again, what happened is here.
At that time you were in, you went in the coma when you were in,
yeah.
Which class you said? P7?
P7.
P7.
Yeah.
You knew Hitler's face.
Now,
now
the strange bit is when you are given that experience, the spiritual experience, you are able to know anything that you could not have known in your physical strength. Okay. You are given abilities so much that you can look at a figure that you've never related with in the physical.
World.
And yet you can look at it and know that this is Hitler, and you can see them. Then you can also look at another figure and you tell that this person is Abraham of the Bible, who lived way before we lived.
Yes.
But now, when you are given this ability, or when you encounter the Lord, you receive this ability to distinguish.
Now you've tapped into my my imagination.
Now,
is there fire like they say? Is there, as we call, we gotta go for a break. But paint for me a picture of what hell looks like. When you're in coma.
Yeah.
Then
okay, I may not paint the exact picture of how it looks like, but I'll give you how it feels like. Okay? Now, how it feels like will, in a way, tell you how it looks like. Because this is what happens. Some people are permanently chained. And now these are the greatest leaders that, as the world calls them. They were once great leaders. They once shook the earth. But as we talk, they are chained
In hell.
in hell, waiting for the judgment day. They are in a place which is very unpleasant. They are caned by devils every day. They are chained. They are tormented. But then I meditated. You know meditating? To think. Nga bw'obeera onolowooza ku linnya ly'omuntu. Nga bw'olowooza ku Henry, nolowooza ku Betty, nolowooza ku Sam. Now, I thought about Jesus. I meditated about Jesus. And guess what? He came. He came. Now, when he came, he said that I had called him.
You saw him?
I saw him. He comes and he says, you've called me. Now,
like for the person who is watching.
Yes.
How do you describe like what it looked like? Did you like put a face around him like yafananacha?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't call him handsome. You can't call him beautiful. He's both handsome and beautiful, physically speaking. And yet, when you look at him, you can see the love in him.
Like you see, when I look at you, I can see you're putting on a yellow jacket, a black shirt. When you look at me, you can see I'm putting on this is maroon, black, white. So did you see like a black form, a white muzungu? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay,
and then
is young. You can't call him old. He's not an old man. Remember, he died at 33.
Yes.
So he's still in his form.
Yes.
He's youthful, muvubuka. But beyond the colors and his looks, you can see a forgiving person.
So, Brian, you were born again. Now, Brian, you're born again.
You're prophet yani.
You're prophet Chigani. Do these prophecies, do these prophecies, jeriri, biadala, do they hold water or what? For you?
You're a prophet, you're a team.
No, so Liverpool, why you get a Liverpool? Wow. There's that thing going around. People are doing prophecies. Nalaba nekumbaba ainagai we aliyagamba when mumbanga tini ogenda kuba boti ne boti, you will fall then rise again, and you know all those things. Do these things happen wakati gwe oli mulokole? Nay, of course, mulokole bana aboluzungu KPC watch worship harvest, you know, and all those things. You know, do these things really hold water?
So there is what they call the office of the prophet.
Yes.
Yeah? That's where all prophets operate. So some prophecies, some people are prophets. They foresee things.
In modern day today?
Yes.
Okay.
God, some people are called to be prophets. So there are those who do that well.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, but I don't judge. I think, and judging from what people have said about him, I think Elvis is in that league. Because even his friends, who are not even members of his church, say that this guy has been predicting stuff since he was a young man. Yeah, like you just say stuff and it happens. So I don't know. He has failed to. Yes.
Getting married is a tall order.
Don't stretch the
prophet.
Yeah. So I think some people are. But there are also people, Kasuku, who are not prophets, but they prophesy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think all of us have the ability to prophesy.
It's just that these people perfect it.
Yes, they perfect it.
They pray about it.
Pray about them, then focus on it.
Yeah.
Nange, I prophesy. Nange, I do prophesy. I can tell until while look some in the prayer.
That is prophecy.
But what do you believe? Bible, you get about false prophets. So I think there are really some damn predictions that even you, common sense cannot, How do you say you are going to overturn a football match? A score. I think that's rubbish, absolute rubbish. But there are also things, and where most people contend with prophets is there are some things that have been predicted before by science.
Is that light okay?
So there are things that have been predicted by science or by analysts. Chobola fevimu tetukikiriza nti oli wa predicting a Grammys. Like it is clear Burna Boy had a good year. He will win a Grammy. Yeah. I don't need a prophet to tell you that. To tell me that. Yeah. It is clear that if we don't deal with climate change, the world is going to fall apart. I don't need a prophet to tell you that. And so I think that's where some people say, he just reads a lot, he follows news, then what's happening well and good. Well and if you come and you're a pastor and if you're a prophet and you say, oh, Israel and Palestine will fight, that was predicted already by political analysts. It's been happening. It's been happening. So and now it's happening. You all of a sudden you go back to your sermon and you say, "Not predicting up fall." No. So that's where some people don't believe prophets. Yeah. But prophets Banabi je bali abatuufu. And that was Brian Okati. Yes, there are those things you can predict and okay, like you said and all that. The issue of someone yafana agenda mu gulu nalaba Katonda nadda. Do you believe that that's like no, but it's a serious matter. Because maybe it is the way these people now that is like the third person, Chiganda, Sozi, or a prophet, they are all saying, we saw God. Yeah. We spoke to God. We went to heaven. The voice of God. And in the Bible, we only know one prophet who went to heaven. That is Prophet Elijah. Kati. I think. So is it possible that a human being, a man, lives here, goes, talks to God, and comes back? I think God can appear to you. God appears to people in many ways. But not going to heaven. Even that, it's possible. Because it happened in the Bible. Kati no New Testament. New Testament yagulawo. Nti everybody now has access. God they limiting only to religious leaders. So everybody. But me, I think it is the way in which people say those things. You can't tell me to have a expressing ovuga nova mu motoka. You know, it's a bit comical. It's comical, it's not serious. But I know people who have been sleeping, then their spirit leaves the body, and they go. So wherever they go, wherever God takes them, it's up to them. But those things happen. But they are obviously doing it for money. Katrina labe kisajja kiriawo kisirusiru kiri mukwata bakazi mabeere kyeyita kitume nakyo kugamba ebintu abasikamu ebintu ebintu ebyekitumbavu ebyo those are the people we need to arrest. So that's why Kagame is serious that if you want to be a man of God, go to a university, go and read something. Abazungu kye bakola bapasita b'abatoto bonna bagendako mu Bible college. Yes, God has called you. Nga naffe bwe mutulaba nti manyo okufilminga njogera ku radio naye bampamu refresher course.
Yeah.
Sicho?
Ogenda nokola to nurture you
Yes.
in the job you're doing.
So I think we need to do that. So by leading prophets nga Pastor Prophet Elvis. Mukwate kubana abamu. Tell you a school of prophecy.
Esobola okubayambako.
Musajja ayogera ekintu n'ogamba, but what is... I saw a man
and I saw foolishness. Some of the videos, it's a discussion that's ongoing. It is something I want to tackle. Sagala chitwala mo deep investigations in eza NTV ezachi, but it's something I want to create a discussion around it. Eventually, I want to host some of these men.
I want you.
Mbaboze, how, you know, like, because we need to understand. Because the challenge with all this is one. Sometimes bogere bintu ngola abalimba.
Yes.
Naye era challenge je nina ne ba pastors nchole jana ganti yo mufero yali bati ne bwati. But what brings thousands of people?
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me all those people tebala banti bano basiru oba bafere.
No, I think Kasuku, people need to know that Jesus now is a product. Jesus is a product. A chupa yamas. Right? So Jesus was commercialized. So and when you are commercializing, twina KFM, twina Dembe, or creating a bintu evidata sales people, be making a sales people to go and sell.
Yeah.
So Jesus na ye, but sales people about Jesus, they are doing everything to make sure that they make money out of this product called Jesus, out of faith.
But how they do it?
So because we are constant as human beings, we have the inability to see the next thing. Faith does so well to give you hope, to give you the idea that if you do the following things, you are going to be rewarded.
Tomorrow will be better.
Yes. So abantu one, they know that. They understand the science and they use it to make so much money. So it is
that is why some of us can see and others can't.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's a discussion. I wanted it from you.
Get a theologian. I encourage you to speak to someone like Bishop Zach.
Bishop Zach
Niringie.
Yeah. Zach Niringie.
Abasajja abali mu theology, understanding all these all these callings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They can tell you what an apostle is, what an evangelist is, what a prophet is, what a pastor is, what a reverend is, what a teacher of the word
is,
what
a priest is.
Thank you, sir.
And all those things. Well, mu comment section yawo bobo manyiya abasajja nga Zach Niringie. I'll try to look for his number.
Apostle Grace Lubega Munoni.
Apostle Grace you wafaleru.
Yes.
Sajja mugezi. Abimanyi bulungi ebintu bino.
Yes.
So that is one. Apostle Grace, Zach Niringie. I would also want to host Prophet Elvis Mbonye. He's one of those guys. Bendoza is doing something different.
Look in the camera and
yeah, he's one of abantu abali kumpi ne Prophet Elvis.
Yeah.
Monyambe schedule for me an interview. I don't know go to his place. Then I want to interview again Prophet Chiganda, that guy who said he can see a football match and yeah, all those things. They are the, you know, ibizo byange yagala mwebuliza because what I want to know from these people,
yes, sir.
One, how do they be normal like us?
Sibagaga.
No, Bagaga, but I'm saying like I don't know if they are rich, but I'm asking like how do they be normal like us when they speak to God? Then secondly, a chichokwera prophet bachijawa. Bonga. Is it just the title Jibewa? Katonda yajibawa? You know those things and how they carry around their business and you know those things. Then no nyene kwali prophet Sozi. naye yagamba nti yagenda mu ggulu ku bypass mu mmotoka ng'etambula yakomawo n'agisanga ng'ekyatambula
nakomawo n'agiddamu n'agitulamu neyongerayo
n'agenda mu bibye. I think it's a discussion we need to have because behind has been pastors. They've raised a lot of issues and controversies. Naye ekigambo pastor kiri nnyo mu loko kati prophet kyekiri mu luzungu. So it's a discussion. Naye wabaawo n'omuntu eyo omulala saagala nnyo byatunulira nti sima pastor they rape people they I want us to understand where do these people derive their power? What are they talking about? Loba jijjawa ebintu bino ebakola babikola batya deeply. So that's it. But thanks, Brand, for your time. Yeah. You have given me really an insight. Maybe no need to sing ngamba nyabantu sagala ojja noyagala ogenda ononye zaka niringi ayogera oluzungu lungi biki ngate waliwo Brand asobola kikufundizamu ye mu ntegeereye ate nga naye mulokole
ate ebintu by'eddiini bizibu buli omu bimukolera mu ngeri ye. I don't judge people who are brainwashed because it might be working for them, but there must be a standard fenna gye tugamba nti eno ye minimum requirement. Yes, naye nga buli omu Mukama ayina engeri gyamulabikira, ayina engeri gyamukolera. Wali abatasaba, wali abasabira mu motoka, wali abasaba nga basirisa ali awo akutunuulira naye nga ali mu kusaba.
Waliwo n'abagenda mu bajjajja baabwe ate bajjajja ne babakolera. Okitegeera ogenderawo omusajja emyaka giyiseewo 5 omubuuza wakola otya ebintu bino nga naye tamanyi. Alina ennyumba z'abapangisa, alina kalina ze zaasulamu, alina emmotoka z'avuga z'amaanyi naye nga bulijjo mubadde mumulaba mutambula naye.
Also, darkness has power. Yeah, so you can't just because you're a Christian, you can't pretend that those things are not there. They are there.
Okay. Anyway, so that's the discussion. You can submit now. Not and all those things. Until next time. I know I'm smart. Don't say it.
Now you're smart.
That was cutting. The man said we are supposed to wear this too. The email says Friday.
Ajide munkofira.
Munkofira, a simple shirt.
Nengo chimanyi. Pastor bafe.